Hey everyone. Today's video is going to get into a little bit of why this blanket financial advice really doesn't work for everyone. Having worked in the financial world, some of these big names in the finance personalities, they have a decent message, but it's the wrong message for a lot of people. I'm Scott Sery. I'm the founder of Know to Grow, and I show you how you can go from having no idea how to make money on your own to growing that idea, and you can ultimately live life without having to answer to a boss. So these concepts might rub some people the wrong way. I'm okay with that, because this advice might not be the perfect fit for everyone out there. For some, though, they might need exactly what Dave Ramsey is preaching. But for the rest of us, we're going to bump it up a notch so we can live life on our own terms. If you're trying to get out of debt, Ramsey has great techniques on how you can conquer that obstacle in your life. And once you have your finances under control, then you can use debt to work for you and not against you. I have 3 main points to make here. We'll start with credit scores. Recently, I have had some ads come through on my Facebook feed that have a quote from Mr. Ramsey himself. Basically, it talks about how a credit score isn't necessary, and really it should be called a I love debt score. And that's great for someone with a net worth of over $200 million and can pay cash for just about anything he needs. For the rest of us, a credit score is the difference between actually buying a house and renting forever. This is because no credit score means you can't get a loan. And a low credit score means you end up paying more for your loans. Let's say your score is in the low 600s. You'll pay about 1.5% more on a home loan. If you buy a house that's $250,000, that's over $300 extra every single month. Car loans are even worse. You get even higher interest. So yes, a credit score is important, and it's important to have access to the credit, but not to max it out. We can talk about that another time. Low interest debt is no big deal. The second thing that really irks me from these gurus is they claim that all debt is bad debt. And I get the idea. You should be paying cash instead of taking out loans that you can barely afford. But not all debt is bad debt. Even some consumer debt can be good. For instance, my mortgage is locked in at 2.8%. And I could pay extra on that every month and get that little dopamine dump that comes from paying off that loan. But when inflation averages 3%, or even more in this last year, I would actually lose money by tying it up in my house. The same goes for student loans. We have them locked in at less than 3%. Or any debt any debt like this is okay to have. Now I have a home equity line of credit in my house, and I can tap into that at 4.5% interest. I take that money out all the time, and I invest it into real estate deals where I make 10% or more. I'm making money by tapping into the equity that I already have. Leverage your debt to make money. That brings us to the final point, and probably the shortest. It's using debt to leverage your net worth and rapidly grow your wealth. This is a big concept, and I got into it a little more in depth a few videos ago. I'll link to that video in the description, so head over there and check out that one as well. And when it comes down to it, debt is useful and often necessary. I mean, how many people have few $100,000 laying around so they can just buy a house? Shoot, most people don't even have $25,000 laying around to buy a car. We need these loans to enhance our lives. I mean, you can surely drive a 1997 Honda Shipbox to avoid a car loan, and while that car is incredibly awesome and gets absolutely great gas mileage, it's been paid off for like 100 years and it costs next to nothing to insure, but it doesn't have some of the conveniences of a modern car. like a working radio. The point is, when you are able to handle your money appropriately, then you can afford to use debt to enhance your life in ways that otherwise would not be entirely possible. To get started, you need more money coming in so your debt isn't a burden. To get that money coming in, you need to get paid for things that you're already good at and you love doing. And that's exactly what Know to Grow does for you. Just head over to www.knowtogrow.com. Let's figure out what you can do to earn money without a boss so that you can live life the way that you've always wanted to live it. And by the way, if you can just click like and subscribe and then leave me a comment, that would be awesome. Even if it's like an angry comment on how wrong I am, I'm okay with that.